In this short video, we are going to discuss how to create and analyze box plots. A box plot, also known as a 5-number summary or box and whisker plot, graphically shows the following 5 values: the smallest value in the data set, the first quartile, the median, also known as the second quartile, the third quartile, and the largest value in the data set. This is what a box plot looks like, and the values in this specific data set represent shoe sizes. So by looking at this box plot, I can see the smallest shoe size in the data set was 1.5. The largest shoe size was 13. Q1 in this data set is 4. Q2, or the median, is 8, and Q3 is 10. Let's complete an example together. In this example, I'm seeing a data set representing 28 ages for Academy Award-winning Best Actors in order from smallest to largest. So I have my 28 numbers here representing different ages of actors who have won an Academy Award. I will create a box plot representing this data. To create a box plot, we'll have to identify Q1, Q2, and Q3. You can do this the long way. So remember, the first step is to cut the data exactly in half. Since we have 28 data values, the lower half will have 14 values and the upper half will have 14 values as well. Then we identify which number or numbers fall exactly in the middle. In this case, we have 2 numbers falling in the middle. We'll have to calculate their average, which is 49.5, and that is Q2. Remember, the next step is to look at the lower half and identify which number or numbers fall exactly in the middle of the lower half. In this case, again, there's 2 numbers falling in the middle. We calculate their average, which is 30.5, and that is Q1. We then look at the upper half, identify the numbers falling in the middle, calculate the average. In this case, it is 68. That is Q3. You don't have to do it this way if you don't want to, because obviously this can be a lot of work and very complicating. Thankfully, we have technology to help us. So a different way to create your box plot or to determine these calculations is by using GeoGebra.org. When you go to GeoGebra.org, click on GeoGebra Classic. Then click on the spreadsheet. And you can enter your data values into the first column, column A. Remember, the first few values in our data set were 21, 22, 25, and 26. You finish entering all 28 of your data values, or you can copy and paste. Then you highlight your values. You click this button that looks like a histogram. You click one variable analysis. Here we're only working with one variable because remember the variable is ages. A histogram shows up, but you can change the graph that is generated to a box plot. And there is our completed box plot. You can also look up the calculations by clicking this button. And here I'm seeing the Q1 of my data set, which was 30.5, Q2, which was 49.5, and Q3, which was 68. I also see the lowest and the highest values identified. And what's nice about this feature is it also calculates the mean, which is approximately 49.07 for this data set. This is the box plot we created. Not only does a box plot help us easily identify information about the data set, it also helps us to interpret information. Let's start by interpreting what Q3 means in the context of this situation. Remember, Q3 in the data set was 68. And remember, another word for Q3 is the 75th percentile, because once we've reached Q3, we have reached the first 75% of data values. This means that 75% of Academy Award-winning Best Actors are this age or lower. They are age 68 or lower. Now let's identify what percent of Academy Award-winning Best Actors are 30 and a half years old or under. We can do this by identifying which quartile fell at this age. Remember, that was Q1. Q1 was 30.5. And remember, another term for Q1 is the 25th percentile. Because once we've reached Q1, we've reached the first 25% of data values. This means 25% of Academy Award-winning Best Actors are this age or lower. Something important to keep in mind about box plots is their shapes are always going to differ. But no matter what the shape looks like, keep in mind that a box plot shows us quartiles. And remember what quartiles are meant to represent. Quartiles cut the data set into 4 parts. So a box plot helps us easily see these 4 parts.